American agriculture is currently navigating one of the most significant financial shifts in recent years as the United States Department of Agriculture begins the rollout of a massive $12 billion economic aid package. Within this total, $11 billion has been specifically carved out for the Farmer Bridge Assistance Program, or FDA. This initiative is designed as a temporary financial lifeline for row crop producers who have faced a combination of rising input costs, persistent inflation, and market disruptions caused by international trade tensions. The eligibility for this $11 billion is highly specific, focusing on those who planted major row crops during the 2025 season. This includes producers of corn, soybeans, wheat, cotton, and rice, as well as a variety of other crops like barley, sorghum, peanuts, oats, and various oil seeds such as canola, flax, and sunflowers. To qualify, a farmer must be actively engaged in farming and have a real financial risk in the crop. One of the most critical hurdles for eligibility was the December 19, 2025 deadline for filing accurate acreage reports with the Farm Service Agency. For those who met this requirement, the process is being streamlined through pre-filled applications that the USDA is expected to make available in late February. The payment structure is based on a flat per-acre rate that varies significantly depending on the commodity. For instance, rice producers are seeing some of the highest support levels at $132.89 per acre, while cotton follows closely at $117.35. Major staples like corn and wheat have been assigned rates of $44.36 and $39.35 per acre, respectively, while soybean producers will receive $30.88 for every eligible acre. These numbers were calculated using a formula that factors in the national cost of production against the actual market returns, essentially trying to bridge the gap for those who saw their margins evaporate over the last year. While the funding is substantial, there are strict guardrails in place regarding who can receive the maximum amounts. There is an adjusted gross income limitation set at $900,000, meaning those exceeding this average income over the prior 3 years are generally ineligible. Additionally, the individual payment cap is set at $155,000 per person or legal entity. This cap is a hard limit, and unlike some previous programs, the USDA has confirmed there are no special provisions to increase this limit for high-income operations. Geography also plays a major role in where this money is landing. Because the aid is tied to planted acres of specific row crops, the Midwest and the Corn Belt are slated to receive the lion's share of the funding, roughly 64% of the total, or nearly $7 billion. States like Texas, Iowa, Kansas, and Illinois are leading the list for total state-level distributions. In contrast, producers in the Northeast and the West, who may focus more on specialty crops or livestock, will see a smaller portion of this specific $11 billion row crop fund, though a separate $1 billion has been reserved for specialty crops and sugar. Looking ahead, the timing of these payments is the most immediate concern for farm cash flow. The USDA has set a target date of February 28, 2026 to begin issuing checks. This timing is intentional, aimed at providing liquidity just as farmers prepare for the 2026 spring planting season. It is important to note that this FBA program is a one-time bridge intended to hold the industry over until the more permanent structural changes of the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, or OBBA, take full effect later in 2026. Those future changes will include higher statutory reference prices and more affordable crop insurance premiums. For producers waiting on these funds, the next step is to watch for the arrival of the pre-filled application forms from their local FSA office. While the government is using existing data to minimize the paperwork, farmers will still need to verify the accuracy of the information and sign off on the forms to trigger the disbursement. As the February deadline approaches, ensuring all tax identification and farm ownership documentation is current will be the best way to avoid delays in receiving these stimulus funds.